Hello, this is Deborah Cohen, a story and a song. I welcome you to this channel, which broadcasts every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. On Instagram, my handle is at Deborah Cohen Music, DOTCOM, or on YouTube, the handle is at Jewish Rock Music. Today we're going to talk about singing for better health, which tackles the issue of fear. Are you afraid to sing publicly? If you are, then this would be of help to you. So stay tuned. Find a quiet corner to stay in, 30 minutes-ish. And if you want to take notes, then get yourself some paper and something to write with, and I'll be right back after this message. Hello, this is Deborah Cohen Music, and I'm so glad that you took the time to listen to my podcast, A Story and a Song. It's about my life, to share some wisdom and some mistakes, hopefully that we can learn from together and laugh at maybe, starting in the 80s in a new wave rock band in Boston with 2 singles that are still available on Spotify. Boston Nights and Dreamin'. And then on my worldly journey that we're all on, I morphed into a spiritually dominant being where I am a truth seeker and write songs of praise while having one foot in the world writing sync music. So listen up and share. And again, this is Deborah Cohen. And if you're admiring my new t-shirt, maybe you can't see it if you're listening to the audio, it says Zionist. And I am recording a CD, or actually it's a single, called Zion, because I've been bombarded with people calling me a Zionist as if it's a dirty word. And I had to look it up on Google to see what's wrong with being a Zionist. The meaning of Zionist that I know comes from the Bible. But these people that are saying, regarding Israel, you're a Zionist, they think it means something else. And, they think it means occupier or colonizer, because that's what Google says. So, don't believe everything you hear. Take it from the authentic source. For me, it's the Bible. I hope it's for you too. If you are scorning the word, then maybe you have a problem with God, the author of the Bible. It's not me you should be mad at, okay? So let's come together and learn a little bit about overcoming the fear of singing. And I'm inspired for this teaching from the book Singing in the Brain. I'm singing in the brain. And my guest today is Les Paul. Say hello. Not the real Les Paul, my guitar, Les Paul. She stands by me, Les Paul. What do you mean she? Leslie can be male or female, right? Okay, enough of my goofiness. So let's learn a little bit about self-talk, because I'm speaking from experience. When I used to like to sing with the Beatles records and others like the Supremes, Sly and the Family Stone, Chaka Khan, and Olivia Newton-John, well, I was singing in my bedroom as a teenager with the door closed, blasting my Olivia Newton-John song, If Not For You, one of my favorites to sing as a teenager. And I had what I call a singing session in my bedroom where it's safe to sing, and came down the stairs for a dinner or supper, whatever you call it. And my mother turns to me as she's serving at the dinner table, and she says, "Was that you singing up there?" And I thought, I'm going to get a compliment, you know? Yes, Ma. Oh, she said, you sounded like a sick cow. Well, you know, that really destroyed me. So, right off the bat, if you're calling people names, I don't care if you've grown up learning sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. That's a lie. You know, if psychologists today are teaching, and this is factual, that for every negative thought in your mind, whether you speak it or not, it takes 10 good thoughts to override that one negative thought. So if you're filling your brain with a lot of negativity, no wonder that's all you speak. So when it comes to singing, if you have to have confidence, you have to sing no matter what people say, or like if they could be scowling while you're singing, and you might be thinking, don't they like my singing? But they could be thinking about something that happened to them 5 minutes ago. So you've got to overcome all those negative impressions, thoughts, to be able to sing freely. So how do you do that? I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to share information from this book, Singing in the Brain, by Jerry, Jeri, Lee, Lee. All right. When talking to yourself, avoid using negative words. So, I'm still learning this. Not for singing so much anymore, but, for my size. Avoid the words that create doubt or fear. Now, I used to have a fear of singing publicly after what my mother said. I got no encouragements from her, so I was a fearful child. And the only way I could overcome fear of rejection, negativity, especially when I joined a rock band in the 80s, was to take drugs and drink Dom Perignon was my liquid of choice. And I thought that I would sound better if I could be more relaxed, but I didn't just have one drink or one drug. I started mixing things because a lot of it came freely. By the time that the band was at the caliber of opening up for Joan Jett, Let me pause while you think about that. I'll have some coffee. Great. My drug of choice is lovely. Just straight black coffee. Organic. Okay. When talking to yourself, avoid using negative words. Avoid the words that create doubt or fear. You need to think positive. Promote positive words, positive thoughts, and positive actions. All this will produce positive results. Your mind only thinks in black and white, yes and no. It has no room for gray. When you think with doubts or fears, maybe or ifs, what ifs, anything that would be considered a gray word, your mind automatically makes it black or negative. So you're fighting your own self when you're trying to have this confidence going on. How many of you can agree with that? You can put it in the chat right up before you get to sing. I don't think that anymore, but it took me decades to put that voice to rest. So think positively and speak positively, and then react positively. And you'll notice when you start doing this, 100% investing in yourself to think positive, do, speak, you'll notice the ones that aren't. And then you have to make a choice. And it's hard to tell somebody to stop dumping on you. That's what I call it. Now, it's one thing to confide in a dear, dear friend and discuss a matter that is not positive with the hope of finding help. That's one thing. But if you constantly I call it grind the axe. You come up to somebody, let's say me, for instance, and I've just met you, and the first thing you start spewing is about how, and this is a real actual thing that happened to me, spewing to me how your book is going nowhere, and you like to sing, but you're waiting for an opportunity, and you made a CD, you want to hear it. I'm like, I don't even know this person. You want to hear it? And she's, but it didn't go nowhere. I'm like, why would I want to listen to it then? So, when you talk that way about yourself, people don't want to hear that unless you are with other people that talk the same way, negative. I don't want to talk that way, because if you think or talk that way, you're closing your own doors of opportunity. And I want to go places, don't you? Don't you want to find your personal success, your reason for being here? And here's a clue. If this is a person that's still struggling with negativity, if they, especially women, look at somebody else and they automatically cut that person down, find something wrong with them, or compare yourself to the other woman in a negative way. I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, like, I do this sometimes. Man, I wish I had a butt like hers, like nice and round, and instead of flat like a barn door. Wait, I'm thinking negatively about myself, but I'm hiding it with a laugh. But sorry. Don't change that channel. Okay, so think positively and speak positively, and then react positively. Learn how to change the wording of your sentence. For example, instead of saying, I'm afraid I can't lose weight, say instead, I know I can lose weight 1 pound at a time. Or here's another example. Instead of saying, I'm always in pain, say, my pain is going away. Now, so for me, instead of saying, I wish I had a butt shaped like hers, I could say, I'm working on having a more toned body. How does that? Isn't that more? That invites conversation. Oh, really? What are you doing? Then I can tell you what I'm doing. In your statement, I'm always in pain, if that's what you're saying and to yourself, it may be true. But guess what? You invited the pain to stay with you. And who wants their pain to stay? I don't. Okay. So in the second statement, my pain is going away, you acknowledge the pain existed, but it is on its way out. Okay, so think about that for a minute while I take a station break, and I will be right back. Hungering to be in your righteousness. And this is Deborah Cohen, and we're talking about singing without fear. And there was a time when I stopped singing because my mother was always insulting me. And I had to actually go to counseling to overcome the fear of singing. This is why I'm such an advocate today, to help other people to sing freely in a group. Why? No, not talent scout, not you have to have a singing voice. It's to help you find your special sounds in your body, developing them in a singing circle without fear to express your soul's voice, in particular for praise, for the Creator. Okay, so if we're talking about going to let's say, for example, I'm not endorsing hypnotherapy, but in this book, Singing in the Brain, Jerry Lee talks about it. Typically, a hypnotherapist would place you into a state of altered consciousness by the use of an induction. It means that they would talk to you into a state of relaxation by having you perform several breathing exercises and focusing your attention on solidarity. At that point, they suggest that you find a place within, referred to as your inner peace, and a place without that you call your sanctuary. Okay, let me read that again because I'm not sure that it's not clicking with me. At that point, when you're doing these breathing exercises, which I also teach, they suggest you find a place within, referred to as your inner peace, and a place without, I see, not meaning without, not meaning you don't have, it means without you, with outside of you. That would have been a better way to say it. Outside of you that you call your sanctuary. Okay, that makes sense. It is up to your conscious mind to find that place in your memory or imagination that is so peaceful and relaxing you could lose yourself. Think about that for a minute. Where is that special sanctuary where you have quiet? Now, I know some people that are listening, they've told me they have to go to their car. That's the only place they have peace and quiet. Or I've heard a lady say she has to go into her bathroom and close the door. Hopefully you have 2 bathrooms so you don't have anybody saying, hurry up in there. Okay. Contacting your subconscious mind, that is the intermediate between your conscious mind and your super conscious mind, provides this ultimate experience. Now listen up. This is very psychologically scientific. It's this connection that permits you to find the magic and purpose of your being. And this is what I teach all the time. Even when I was teaching public high school, I would say to the kids, they're mature enough to understand it now, why are you here? Why? What difference are you going to make while you are on planet Earth? You know, you can't talk about God in public classrooms anymore, in most cases, because the kids will report you. That's what happened to me. So I'm like, okay, so you have to make it secular sounding. What do you think is the reason that you were put on this earth? You know, instead of saying, why did God create you with a special gift? Something that only you can do on this planet. It's up to you to find it, find out what it is, and to develop it to make this world a better place. While finding that door to your ultimate experience might be exciting, it can be equally devastating because your subconscious mind has no conscience. You know, if you think it's okay to hurt other people, you don't have a conscience. It only wants to please you, the conscious mind. Okay, let me read that again because I'm trying to digest this with you. It only wants to please you, the conscious mind, and it does not understand unless you put the meaning in simplified direct suggestions or orders, because it takes all of your requests as literal orders. Now that's a big chunk of information about yourself and myself. So we're talking about your subconscious mind has no conscience. It only wants to please you, the conscious mind. Okay. So I was understanding it as if you have a choice of having a conscience or not. This is something different, so please don't let me confuse you. Let me just stick to the text. Okay. It only wants to please you, the conscious mind. and it does not understand unless you put the meaning in simplified direct suggestions or orders, because it takes all of your requests as literal. So consider thinking about what you request your subconscious mind to do and be very exact. Example, go to my fetal state, collect stem cells, bring them to now, place them in my liver, make my body healthy, make my body well. So you're giving commands to yourself, and you have to say it because your body is listening. Your body listens to everything you say. So you need to have a safe, private place to do this. Otherwise, some people will start criticizing and saying, what are you talking about? To who are you talking to? I'm talking to myself. Okay, self-talk is good as long as you don't answer yourself. These are all positive orders that your subconscious must obey. So if you say good things to your subconscious in easy orders, your conscious must obey. You can instruct your subconscious to contact your superconscious, which is your higher self, which I call the soul. Everybody has a soul. Did you know that you are a soul or a spirit with an earth suit wrapped around it? What you're looking at is my physical body. But if you look in my eyes, you can see that these are the windows of the soul. And you have them too. We all have them. You can instruct your subconscious to contact your superconscious, which is your higher self. Being that it is your God self does not mean that you have to bow or be intimidated. It means that it is the part of your mind that makes miracles happen. Who wants a miracle? I do. Take control of this part of your mind and apply any name you feel comfortable using. I have names for all the parts of my mind. Now, this is the author speaking here. Since my parents named me Geraldine, that converts like this. Jerry is my conscious mind. And this is the author, Jerry Lee, speaking. Dean is my childhood name and my conscious name by choice. And the superconscious mind is, hey, you. You had no problem disciplining your child by telling that child to do this or do that, or don't do this or don't do that. And if you're like me, that didn't have children, but you have had a bunch of siblings. I'm the oldest of 9, so I was the built-in babysitter. Do this, do that. Okay. You must deal with your subconscious mind as that little child that lives within. Okay, now we're getting to the meat and potatoes here. Your subconscious, remember this, is your child within. And that's who you're talking to, the child within. You must talk to that child as if it were your offspring. Taking control with authority and advanced learning requires discipline. It's important to utilize as many of your physical senses as possible in each of your talking sessions to yourself. However, realize you must also activate them on your spiritual plane of existence, for this is where their counterparts reside. Visualizing success while utilizing hypnotherapy or self-talk is like imprinting a memory from short-term to long-term. You have to detail it in a photographic format and imprint it on your long-term memory. Using your spiritual senses to recognize emotional success improves your physical results. And I'm going to end there because the author goes on to talk about how to hypnotize yourself to get to this process. And if you are interested, then I suggest that you get the book. I'm not recommending it, but I'm finding as I read this book real time. That's what I'm trying to say. Real time. It's very interesting. Singing in the Brain is the name of the book by Jerry Lee. She's got the letters C as in Charles, H-T, C-H-T. Okay, so I hope that you learned something about yourself, and I'd like to speak a little bit about Rosh Chodesh, which is coming up September 3rd. Rosh Chodesh Elul, a new month, and Rosh Chodesh, let's get the scene here, good. And this week, Labor Day weekend, for the secular holiday in America, I have a Kindle countdown deal, sale on my new book, Jewish Palestine, Arab Palestine, A History of Conflict by Deborah Cohen, and it'll be $2 off. The Kindle will be from September 2nd to the 6th, the first work week in September 2024. So if you are a Kindle reader, it is a book to help us with the facts about Palestine, because there's been a lot of propaganda on Israel, and I decided, excuse me, if you're watching the video, I've got this wild hair. I'm going to put it down like that. Okay. So it's after the October 7th massacre, in October 7th of 2023, I felt a huge burden in my heart for Israel and the Israeli captives. So I just did some research and found a document in the UK archives that explained the truth about the origins of Palestine and how when Palestinians lived in this land called British Palestine, they were Jewish Palestinians and Arab Palestinians living in British Palestine in the 20th century. So these facts that I put in the book, it's an easy-to-read outline. It's a short read, maybe 2 hours max, and it gives you the truth about how Israel became a state and the Arab Palestinians did not. I think it'll surprise you, especially if you've bought into the lie that Zion means occupier. It does not. That's a slang expression. It's unfortunate that it's catching on like wildfire in the world right now, but it's doing an injustice to the word. Zion is from the Holy Bible, and it's a place called Jerusalem. So a Zionist, which I'm wearing this t-shirt that you can get at Amazon. Just look for Deborah Cohen Music. Scroll down to my music profile. You'll see all my merch there. But a Zionist is somebody who loves Israel and believes that God made this land from the Nile River to the Euphrates River, which is all spelled out in the Torah. This land is for the Jews, so and whosoever will. So meaning follows the Torah, not you come one, come all, and you can believe what you want. No, if you obey the 10 Commandments, which are a basic requirement for a Jew to follow, then of course there are secular Jews. I'm not talking to you, but the ones that believe in the Torah and follow it. Then, and if you don't, this is your opportunity in the month of Elul. This is the Rosh Chodesh coming up, the new month of Elul, and Rosh Hashanah is the high holidays for all of us to turn back to God, the God of Israel, come closer to God, and He makes a way for you to return to Him. So this is why we celebrate the new moon, and a Zionist is somebody that loves Israel and wants to honor the land that was given to the Jews according to the Holy Bible. So it's traditional during the month of Elul for Jews every day to read Psalm 27. And Elul, like I said, Rosh Chodesh Elul starts on September 3rd in the evening. And I'll just share with you chapter or verse 4 from Psalm 27 in preparation for Elul, just to let you know the message or the theme of this month coming up, this on the Hebrew calendar. One thing I ask of you, I earnestly pray for, that I might dwell in your house, your meaning God, all the days of my life, knowing the beauty of you, God, and to dwell in your holy place. This is the theme, the belief of a Zionist. So I wish you a happy Labor Day if you're in America, and I hope that you will. Oh, by the way, I'm working on a song called Zion, which should be out in the next few weeks. The lyrics again explain what Zion is according to the Holy Bible. So I hope you'll look for it and share it with the world so we can share the God's truth of what Zion is as a place and who Zionists are as a people. I thank you for listening and hope that you'll share this with somebody, and that I will see you again next Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on a story podcast, A Story and a Song, which is live on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you very much for listening. This is the Labor Day sale, again for the Kindle book, September 2nd through the 6th, $2 off on the Kindle book, Jewish Palestine, Arab Palestine, A History of Conflict. Go to Amazon.com, do a search by the book title, and you will find the Kindle. Thank you for listening. Hi, I am Deborah Cohen, posing as a lion for Zion, with a message for everybody to tell you that Zion has more than one meaning in 2024. But in the Bible, the Holy Bible, Zion is only one meaning. It's a synonym for Jerusalem. It's the place where God's holy name is placed, Hamakom in Hebrew. And we will all know the Messiah when he comes to Zion. So I'm writing a song to help people to know that Zion is not a bad place, unless you make it that way. So I'm working in my recording studio, and it's kind of bluesy. You can let me know what you think. You can't hear the guitar though, because it's in my earphone. Have you heard about Zion? His holy name is placed there. It's in Jerusalem. It's a holy place called Zion. I have been there to this kingdom, on that holy mountain Zion. We are waiting for Messiah
to come rescue his people. Ooh. Hallelujah. Have you heard of Zion, where some still believe in God's name? His holy name is placed there in the Bible, in the heart of Jerusalem. And all the nations